Ladies and gentlemen, I have returned to West Virginia. Wild and absolutely wonderful. This is a brand new complex thanks to the voters of this region at Oak Glen High School. You know, 20 years I spent my life here doing play-by-play in Newell, West Virginia is where I did the Golden Bears, and I've been hearing about this amazing complex for a very long time. And so tonight you're seeing it firsthand, and here is their incredible principal, an 87 graduate at Oak Glen, and of course one of their amazing teachers shooting this on the Samsung Galaxy 7. And who is this amazing? Debbie Sorella. Debbie, thank you very much. And Dave Smith. Dave, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Pratt.
This is absolutely one of the best facilities I have ever seen. And I just got through the gates. I haven't even seen the whole thing. Talk to me about something that I know you're very proud of.
Well, about 5 years ago, our county had passed a bond issue, $56 million bond levy that was passed to support both Weir High and Oak Glen, and we got a portion of that. Of course, what we got is a beautiful football multi-complex.
Soccer match right now?
Yeah, soccer, football, a track. It's just a beautiful facility. They updated with that bond issue money also, science labs. There were academic things that were a part of it also. But this was the highlight of all of it, for sure.
Hey, you brought up education, and I love public education, and we would all not be who we are today without public teachers who have truly changed the lives of many, including mine, and I'm sure you or someone you know. STEM education. Everybody's talking about STEM. How important do you think that is?
Well, it's very important. And Miss Sorella, who's videoing us, is our calculus teacher, does a lot of STEM programming. We've we're trying to receive grants for a lot of things that we're doing now. One of the things that we've been working on with our STEM program is I think it is an etcher that we're going to get.
Debbie, you can talk. You can talk.
Laser engraver.
Laser engraver.
Nice.
Part of the STEM program that would be a part of something we would use every day. And that is a part of the STEM program and things that we want to do also, because we could use it in all of our AP classes, all of our STEM programs. So, as a matter of fact, you just brought that up. Me and Debbie discuss that all the time, things that we can do to improve
I was discussing it with my son, who's a senior at Quigley Catholic and a whole lot smarter than his father. But science, technology, engineering, and math. Yes. And by the way, speaking of Catholic education, I have to give a shout out. We're at Madonna, Steubenville Central Catholic, just down the road. Love what they do. But I asked him, I said, so what's that mean, engineering, Robbie, my son? And he went, Dad, like architecture and stuff like that. How significant is that engineering aspect of STEM when you look at it?
Well, it's very important. The STEM part of it is some of the higher level skills that we're trying to get through to our kids. And it is maybe a smaller portion of your kids, but it's an important part of your kids, whether that be 10% or 20% of your population. But it's a group of kids that Mrs. Sorella and a portion of our staff have to look out for, because a lot of education money goes towards special ed, or it goes towards kind of the middle ground students. You also have to, with the STEM, look out for those higher level thinking kids too, because they are a big part of your school also.
One last thing, when I come to Oak Glen, I think of a lot of things, but I think of Larry Shaw, arguably the greatest wrestling coach in the history of the tri-state. Nick Trombetta, longtime friend of mine, I'm sure Nick, former wrestling coach. He was putting something on Facebook earlier tonight about a place that he is responsible for, Lincoln Park. Back in the day, he created that, and he is the father of cyber education, no doubt. But he was talking about them doing Phantom of the Opera. And listen, I can handle Nick talking arts, but I really love when he talks wrestling, and he agrees with me, as everyone does. Larry Shaw's legacy, I don't think, will ever be surpassed. Do you?
No, and 13 state championships in a row. I mean,
how is that? Listen, did you hear what he just said? Wait. 13 state championships in a row.
Right. It has never been surpassed. I think even in the state of West Virginia, only Norfolk basketball has kind of leveled that. I think they won 10 in a row with some of the players they had, but 13 has never been equaled in the state of West Virginia.
Also, many years, the PK polling shows, lovely wife Rachel, we had a lot of fun doing that. I love this Chester, Newell, New Cumberland area. How proud are you to actually be at your alma mater and being the principal of this high school?
I love it. I'm actually the first head principal at Oak Glen that is a graduate of Oak Glen. And you mentioned Rachel, another 1987 graduate of Oak Glen High School. It makes me very proud, and it means something to me to be a part of it. And I think that is special, and it's some of the things. Miss Sorella was a teacher of mine. She worked at Wells Junior High in Newell with some of us little heathens when we were down there. So it was very important, and we are able to give something back being a part of this community.
And the last thing you mentioned, Newell, I think of the purple of Newell and that state championship basketball team in the mid-50s. Yep, 52. And that, of course, Frank Mangano and my hero, Norm Six Recycling. Listen, we're going to talk a little football now. If I can track them down, the coach are getting ready for a booster meeting. But there's nothing like Friday night, homecoming here tomorrow night. And these young ladies are doing, just, Debbie, show all this, will you? Look at all
bear paws.
Look at the bear paws. They have actually painted all of these names by hand.
Yes.
And they go on as far as the eye can see. But anyway, there's nothing, Dave, like East Liverpool, Oakland. I mean, I love the Beaver Local matchup, but I don't know if it's the river, it's the bridge, it's the culture, it is what it is. It's a great rivalry.
There's no closer communities. As a Newell resident, I used to walk across the bridge to get to Liverpool, whether it be the hot dog shop or, whether you're going somewhere, even over to the track to compete. It is the closest vicinity, and that's why it still is our biggest rival at Oakland.
Folks, come to this matchup Friday night, and you are going to be, if you've never been to an Oakland East Liverpool matchup, you're going to be treated as some wonderful folks, but also an incredible stadium that's full of a lot of hometown spirit. We'll talk football now with Ted Arnaud Jr. as we continue with your Pratt Pack on a Tuesday night.
Hit it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, they're getting ready for their Golden Bears booster meeting, and I finally tracked them down. I've been all over wild and wonderful West Virginia, but it's definitely worth it. I love this state, and I love this young man as the football coach at Oak Glen. He, of course, Ted Arnaud Jr. Now, I had a conversation with his dad, from the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show on the way down here. We were talking about Liverpool's, and by the way, that's the big game tomorrow night that we were talking to Principal Smith about. They do the 4-1, so they spread it out. Yeah, and they got a big-time quarterback who I've been watching since he was a sophomore. And in the last couple of weeks, even though they suffered that loss against Martins Ferry, but in the game against Beaver Local, you had a chance to see what he can do downfield. So what do you plan to do, Coach?
Well, I mean, it poses a serious challenge because they're going to use the entire field. We have to defend the entire field. And, it's a unique opportunity when you're up against a team that employs an empty formation in high school. Most quarterbacks are not able to operate. With that much, pressure, having no back to help protect them, and, not really having that run game to fall off of. You got the quarterback that's out in the backfield that is the run game. So, that poses a unique challenge for us, and, we're looking forward to that challenge on Friday.
Listen, you like East Liverpool. I was talking to your father, kind of mirror images as far as the season. You lost some tough football games last week against a very good Edison team. River Baptist, a couple of big plays for them. It was the difference in this 19-14 loss. They had a tough one against Martins Ferry. How would you describe the bumpy road that you've encountered, not just for East Liverpool, but obviously you throughout the midway part of the season?
It's really pulling it all together. It's just, trying to do all the little things correctly. Managing the turnover ratio, not giving up penalties, knowing our blocking responsibilities every single play, getting the right plays called in at the right times. I mean, there's a lot of things that, I think that if they all come together, we're going to be a pretty powerful football team to stop. And I know East Liverpool's had a lot of the same struggles as well. And, I do think it's going to be a great game.
You being a teacher here, you understand the aspect of a good education, and this school is doing some amazing things. As we were talking to Principal Dave Smith about moments ago, I want to ask you about that in a moment. We'll finish with football. You told me earlier when we did the interview at Ditka's months back about you had a young and an offensive line. Dakota Price has shown at times, but how far have they come, your offensive line, since we first met weeks ago?
The difficulty with our offensive line has been just keeping them together and keeping them healthy. It's been one of those things where we've been plagued by injuries or circumstances where we haven't been able to start the same offensive line any week yet this year, and that's always a struggle when you're trying to get them to gel and come together. But I believe in our line, and I believe that they have improved, and they've taken it upon themselves to improve every week. And we've got the skill behind them to cause some damage in the running game when they come together and when our timing is correct in the backfield. And I do think we can be a formidable team running the football.
One of the things that I always used to do when I was an announcer, when you get to a senior season, midway through the season, you start to think, who can maybe play at the next level, and wherever it may be, but you're hoping they get the opportunity, and that opportunity usually comes if they shine in the final 4 or 5 games of the year. I haven't seen them play, but I hear a lot of good things about Lance Collins. Talk to me about your quarterback.
Lance Collins has really gone to task this year, and he's really put himself out there as somebody that's going to be the hardest worker at practice, and that's a goal that he set for himself. I really think Lance is the type of kid that could adapt to just about any college system that he would happen to be invited to or happen to join. He's a great decision maker. He's a leader, and any college, any local school would be blessed to have Lance Collins as part of their team.
Talk about being a teacher here. Obviously, you like it, you're here. What do you think about Oak Glen and the curriculum? Forget about athletics.
Well, I mean, I'm big into academics, and that's something that I've always stressed. And I'm a psychology, AP, US history, and geography teacher, and that's my first job here. And I care deeply about our kids' education and becoming well-rounded young men and women here at Oak Glen, and it will continue to be that way. And I'm looking forward to having some great scholar athletes come through here and do great things.
When the wind used to come off the Ohio River in the old press box at the old stadium, we would kind of rock back and forth. This is the first time that I had a chance to see this complex, thanks to the voters of this region. You've been around the game long enough. How special is this home stadium for you for homecoming?
Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, having the stadium here at our school campus, that's something that I think had always been kind of a pipe dream. And it came together, a few years ago, and I think there's a lot of people that are fond of the old Newell stadiums because of the memories that were made there. But having the sports complex here is really a blessing for our kids, and I'm hoping we put it to good use on Friday with a homecoming victory.
Yeah, me too. And the spirit's going to roll through tomorrow and then Thursday, and they're going to be all geared up for Friday night. Thank you. I know it's a busy day, but it was nice.
It's always a pleasure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, Josh Ludwig from Jimmy Joe Savage's Legacy Studios. He, of course, the coach of the East Liverpool Potters. That game is here Friday night, New Cumberland Field. It's their homecoming. Have a great night.